In today's video, we're going to talk all about appraisals. What is an appraisal? Why is it necessary? What should you know if you're buying a home? That's going to be the subject of today's video, and we're going to get started right now. My name is David Matney with Nebraska Realty. I'm a local realtor here in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the Omaha real estate market, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Now, let's jump into today's topic. What is an appraisal? An appraisal is an opinion of value by a neutral third party. Why is an appraisal important? When a lender is going to loan money to a buyer to buy a home, they want to make sure they protect their investment. If the home is only worth $300,000, they don't want to loan you $350,000 in order to buy the home. Why? Well, what happens if the buyer quits making their monthly payment and the bank has to foreclose? Now the bank is upside down and they don't work that way. The lender is actually the client. The lender orders the appraisal, but the buyer pays for the appraisal. How much does an appraisal cost? It varies. In our market, it's around $600. The buyer will pay for the appraisal once the home is under contract. What is the difference between a CMA and an appraisal? A CMA stands for Competitive Market Analysis. Sometimes you'll hear Comparable Market Analysis. A CMA is used by real estate agents in order to establish a realistic listing price. This is more subjective, while an appraisal is more detailed, and the appraiser has to follow strict guidelines. Appraisals are often used in divorce cases and in estate settlements. As a buyer, it's important to understand the difference between an appraisal and a home inspection. An appraisal is looking at the value of the property, while a home inspection is looking at the condition of the property. The appraiser looks at the data, and based on that data, gives an opinion of value. An appraiser can use three appraisal approaches: the sales comparison approach, the cost approach, and the income approach. In residential real estate, when a buyer is buying a normal residential property, the appraiser will use the sales comparison approach. The appraiser will visit the property in person and will take measurements of the home. The appraiser will then find three similar homes that are near the subject property. The appraiser will make adjustments for any differences, and then the appraiser arrives at a value. If a buyer is using FHA or VA financing, the home must appraise for purchase price or higher. If the buyer is using FHA or VA financing, one of the conditions for loan approval is that the home must be safe and secure, meaning any potential safety issues must be addressed prior to closing. For example, peeling paint presents a hazard since the paint could contain lead, or a handrail is missing from a stairwell. These could present a safety hazard and will need to be repaired prior to closing. If an appraisal requires repairs, the repairs need to be made before closing, and the appraiser needs to go back out to the property to verify that the repairs have been completed. They charge a fee to do this. If you are selling your home and you're marketing your home to FHA or VA buyers, if you are aware of any potential issues, just do them up front as part of your preparation to put your home on the market. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't understand, but even if you're using conventional financing, the underwriter could demand that a repair be made. Ultimately, the bank is loaning the money and they're going to have the final say. What can a seller do to prepare for an appraisal? Put together a list of updates or improvements that you've done to the property, especially if that item is not readily apparent. This can help the appraiser arrive at a value. Put that list on the table and make it available to the appraiser when they tour the property. What happens if an appraisal comes in low? What can you do? You can ask the lender for what comparable properties were used. If you can find better comparable properties, then give those to the lender and then ask the lender for a reconsideration of value. What if you're a buyer? How can you protect yourself from overpaying on a property? One of the contingencies that you can write into the contract is you can make the sale contingent or subject to property appraisal at or above purchase price. Because let's say you're using conventional financing and you're coming in with 20% down payment. The bank really only cares if the home appraises for the loan amount. Last year, in the market we just came out of, buyers were waiving the appraisal. This meant that the buyer would say, I don't care what the home appraises for. If the home doesn't appraise, I'll bring the difference to closing. This is where FHA and VA buyers were being shut out of the market. How long does an appraisal take? Usually the appraisal is ordered right away as soon as the home is under contract. Depending on the market, the appraiser makes it out to the home about 2 weeks later, and then the lender gets the results back from the appraiser about a week after that. This can present a challenge to the seller, especially if repairs are required. Now that the market has changed, you're seeing more FHA and VA buyers out there being able to get their offers accepted. And if you want to learn more about our current market, be sure to watch this next video and you make it a great day.